Hi, welcome in. What's the buzz today? Well, today we are going to listen to Pat Brown, criminal profiler and crime analyst, and her analysis and theory on the Sebastian Rogers case. Pat ties in the phone call. Yes, the 3 hour phone call. Possibly the drive to Memphis being very key, allegedly, and why the flashlight was in the narrative from her experience as a criminal profiler. She's been doing it for 2 decades for law enforcement. I want to jump right into the audio clip because it's a little bit longer of a clip, about 6 minutes. I do make a couple comments throughout, but there's so much information in there. There is so much to hear. So without further ado, I'll come in real quickly at the end and wrap it up. But without further ado, this is for entertainment purposes only, not fact, but speculation, theory, in my opinion. Audio credit to Pat Brown, criminal profiler. And stick to the end, friends, because that's when she gives her theory.
Mom says, how did he disappear out of the house? Mom says, now, stepdad, there's a lot of very limited information. From what I can gather, and I may be wrong because I can't find much information, he was going away to work in Memphis, where apparently he would go down there and stay for quite a bit of time. I don't know if it was he goes stay for 2 weeks before he came back. They lived in Hendersonville, which is close to Nashville. You can see it's about a 3.5 hour trip. Now, I'm not saying I'm accurate on this, but he was not in town when he supposedly disappeared out of the house. From what I can gather, and it's very, very, very vague, it seemed like he was there the day before he disappeared, and it appears he left approximately, and I'm not sure, somewhere around 9 o'clock at night to drive to Memphis, and they chatted while he was going down to Memphis. So right there, she brings in her theory about the 3 hour phone call. Kind of makes sense, right? They chatted when he was driving back to Memphis, allegedly. And she sounds like she knows this, in my opinion. He was out of the house, and she was alone with her son. She said goodnight to him. He said, "Good night, love you, Mom, love the puppies." And then she dozed off and went to sleep. He's out of town now, supposedly driving to Memphis and in Memphis. At some point in the night, this child, who supposedly is happy, has no reason to walk out of the house, gets up in the dark and walks out of the house in bare feet, supposedly with a flashlight. She says when she goes to wake him up for school in the morning, he's just not there. Okay, let me stop there as far as the waking up in the morning and finding him not there. She says, "Oh, where is he?" And she tells a couple different stories, but that she thought maybe he was in the kitchen making some food, because he does that. She goes to the kitchen, he's not there. Within 3 minutes, she says, one of her stories, 3 minutes, she's like freaked out. And she calls him and says, "I can't find him. He's not in the house." Remember, if you watch the video, The Liars 3, she's showing that she doesn't believe the 3 minutes. Remember, deception is often, if you don't know what to say, you pull the number 3. Watch that video if you haven't. 3 minutes. Okay. I go into my son's bedroom, and he's not in bed. I'm like, what the heck? Oh, did he already get up for school? First of all, I'm not panicked. Maybe he got up on his own. He's 15, for God's sakes. I would yell for him, "Hey, Sebastian." And I think he's in the bathroom. That would be the first pace. That would take me about 30, 40 seconds at least. Then I'd go down to the kitchen and go, "Sebastian?" Okay, that's another minute gone. Okay, and then I'd go, "Sebastian, where are you?" I'd go to, I don't know, the living room, the hallway, family room. I don't know how many places they got in the house. I'd be calling around for him all over the house. "Sebastian, where are you?" That's not going to take me 3 minutes. Then she says eventually, on one of the later The Liars 3, that she checked the closet. But sometimes she said she talked to him first, and then she checked the closet. And then she checked outside. And she also doesn't say that originally. So supposedly after she talks to stepdad. Okay. So my kid, I can't find him in the house. I'll be looking in every place I could, but I certainly would be opening up the door and going outside, going, Sebastian. I'd be screaming his name around the house, thinking, what the heck? Did he go outside? Did he get in the? Where is he? And I'd be running around the house like a lunatic, looking for my son. That takes me more than 3 minutes. 3 minutes from the time I see him in the bed to going checking the bathrooms, the kitchen, wherever the heck in different places in the house, closets, outside. That's not 3 minutes. It seems like he wasn't there. So I called him and said, he's not here. And then he says, you should check some more. She says she did. She calls the sheriff's department and says he's missing. That's a weird story right there. But then it gets weirder. The claim is they do not have any issue. They didn't think that somebody came into the house and took him or somebody coaxed him out of the house. Nothing. They don't talk about any other reason for him leaving the house other than.
And we've heard that. I've heard that, and we've heard that from several analysts and law enforcement professionals not tied to the case, that it's weird, odd that they do not have curiosity about what could have happened to Sebastian.
He decided to walk out of the house in the dark with bare feet, because they say all the shoes are there, and a flashlight. Now, his dad, Seth Rogers, says, you don't like being barefoot. He does not like being barefoot. Don't buy that story at all. Especially, you're running off into the woods or something. Bare feet is not the best thing to, do. But then you think flashlight. Why does he need a flashlight? Because he's what? He's in this dark outside. He's going into the woods. He's winding down the street. What the heck? How do you know the flashlight's missing? They never explained the flashlight issue. I don't know where the hell the flashlights are in my house. Half the time I can't figure out if I have a flashlight. And when my kids were growing up, never knew where they were. So, do they know the flashlight was missing because the flashlight always sits next to his bedstand? Or it's always on the kitchen counter? They don't explain this. Why would they know the flashlight's missing? Where was the flashlight to begin with? And so, okay.
Trigger warning.
He goes out without shoes and he takes a flashlight. All right, let's go to my analysis. I don't know when the last time Sebastian was seen, but I can't come up with that information, but it seems like at least nobody saw him after dinner. In other words, he was at home with his stepdad and his mom. Those were the three that were in the home. As far as I can find out, there's no siblings. So the three of them are home alone. At some point, he gets in the vehicle and he starts driving off to Memphis. We don't know if Sebastian was alive before he left for Memphis or not. But I can tell you something. Usually when a child disappears with no shoes and a flashlight disappears as well, to me, it sounds like the child is being carried out of the house in the condition he's in, which is not having shoes on his feet, put in a vehicle, and the reason the flashlight is going with that child is because you're going to need the flashlight to take to when you stop, wherever you stop, and you're going to do whatever you're going to do. You need a flashlight. That's just my experience.
And her experience, remember, is over 2 decades of being a criminal profiler for law enforcement and analyzing crime scenes.
So, my problem is, let's take a look at the map. If that child did not walk out of the house on his own, I believe he's somewhere between Nashville and Memphis. That's a hell of a long journey. It could be anywhere. Absolutely anywhere in that long drive.
Chilling, isn't it? So one of Pat's expertise is analyzing behaviors, and that's why she's analyzing the Proudfoots and the things they've said. And she forensically analyzes crime scenes and reconstructs the events and looks for evidence and geographically tracks crimes. So, very interesting. I'd love to hear what you think about Pat's analysis in theory. Let me know what your ideas are. And if Sebastian is by chance on the route from Henderson to Memphis and deceased, or maybe how is the best approach and chances of a recovery in the near future? Weigh in, friends. So thank you for being here. Be safe and talk soon.